Navigate to DiceID Platform Console at console-uat.diceid.com. Scan the QR code from your DiceID app. If you have the login credentials, you will be asked to submit the same for authentication. Once submitted, the login credentials will be verified and you will be redirected to the dashboard page of your organization to access credential verification functionality. Navigate to the Verifications page in DiceID Platform Console and click on Verification Templates. Creating a verification template is a prerequisite of using credential verification functionality. The verification template represents the attributes required as proof from a user having DiceID credentials in their identity wallet. After specifying the verification template name and version, you will have to select the schema based on which the template needs to be created. Select a pre-created schema from the drop-down to populate the list of attributes to select from. It is important to confirm to a standard schema so that the verification can be done for credential issued based on that schema. You can unselect the attributes which are not relevant for your organization from verification perspective. Click on Create Verification Template and the new template should be visible. You can navigate to the details of the verification template and familiarize yourself with the attributes, as it will be useful for integration. One quick way of testing the verification template is to click on Verify link on the details page. This will open a verification QR code. For testing this QR code, you need to have credential issued with the same schema that was used to create this template. Scan the QR from DiceID app, and once the matching credentials are found, you will be prompted to submit your credentials as proof. If you don't have the matching credentials, then the corresponding message will be displayed. Please follow the tutorial for credential issuance to issue a credentials and continue this tutorial. Once submitted, the credentials get validated against blockchain and you should see the result of verification and the attributes listed on the web page. Once the verification template is created and tested, you can use its details to add the verification QR code to your web-based application. Navigate to the Verification Templates Edit page and add URLs of your web app. In this example, we will be setting up a web server on localhost and port 3000. So specify the same in redirect URI and CORS so that this URL is whitelist for rendering the QR code. Save the verification template so that both the values are registered for your verification template. Adding of QR code to your web application comprises of 4 steps. First step is to install and set up a web server if you don't have one. In this tutorial we are using HTTP server, which requires Node.js as a prerequisite. Second step is to clone the boilerplate code base for verification QR code from github.com so that it is available on your local host. Third step is to modify the index.html page in the boilerplate code base and specify the details of verification template. Once done, you can run your web server and test the verification QR code. After installing HTTP server, git clone the code and change directory to crcode-verification. Open index.html in your preferred editor and navigate to the function handle QR. Replace the values in auth_base_URL with vc auth endpoint in the verification template. Similarly, replace the values of vc_auth_client ID and vc_auth_config_id with the corresponding values in verification template from console UI. Also ensure that redirect URL value is matching with redirect URI and web app URL is matching with the entry in CORS list of the verification template. Save your changes in index.html. Run the HTTP server on port 3000 and open localhost port 3000 in your browser. You should see the verification QR code, which needs to be scanned from Dice ID app in which you have the credentials. Once scanned, the matching credentials will be found and you can submit it as proof. Once the proof is validated against blockchain, you will see the verification result and the details of the credential attributes on the page. These attributes and values are extracted from the JWT in the JavaScript function getUserData from token. This JavaScript is available for your use and modification as part of the standard boilerplate code we used in this tutorial. If you do not want to add the HTML and JavaScript, then you can use the ready-made verification page available in verification template. This link can be shared with your end users and they can scan the verification QR code and submit credentials as proof. The result of the verification will be emailed to the email ID you registered in the verification template. This is how verification template can be set up and integrated with your web-based application. This concludes this tutorial, and feel free to reach out to us for any further queries.